Remember how I said I was gonna be gone for a week? Well, slight change of plans. That starts tomorrow. Today, we're talking about a certain Ravan skin. ELIMINATOR RAVANA, which is literally the skin you see in the background footage right now. This skin, as of this patch, was removed from the game entirely. We do not have any statement as to why, but it's kind of obvious why it was removed. It is an extremely high resemblance of Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. This can be seen if you compare them side by side. The yellow chest piece is very similar depending on which version of Scorpion we're looking at. You have the face mask, you also have the glowing eyes and the hood, and then, well, the general design as a martial arts fighter. Obviously there are some differences. Overall, the Ravan skin is a lot more cyber style, which kind of makes it resemble Cyber Sub-Zero a little bit as well, but it's very clear where the skin drew most of its inspiration from. Skins in Smite usually don't get removed. Everyone who had the skin gets the full refund for what they paid for the skin. So this is something that's not very beneficial for Hi-Rez. As such, they only really do it when they're forced to, so they probably got a nice little cease and desist letter that told them to not have that skin in the game or there would be consequences. And this has happened in the past with a certain Night Prowler Bastet skin. This skin was a very direct reference to Catwoman, to the degree that it even included voice lines that were quotes from Catwoman.
Maybe I'll just give myself a bath right here.
Warner Bros. Did not think that this was too funny and the skin had to be taken from the game. Interestingly enough, Warner Bros. Are also the ones who own the right to the Mortal Kombat franchise, to which Scorpion belongs. So maybe Hi-Rez should have learned after the first time and stayed away from Warner Bros. Characters. Apparently they're not too happy about that kind of stuff. What happened with Night Prowler Bastet was that it was severely overworked and turned into Covered Ops Bastet, which still has a similar touch outfit-wise, though a very different look, especially when it comes to the face. The problem in Ravan's case is that it's probably a fair bit harder to rework. The skin already had significant differences to Scorpion's design through the mecha kind of style, the cyborg kind of style, with those metal arms and the robotic aspects to his skin. So changing him up even more is somewhat harder if you still want to keep at least a little bit of a degree of a reference. What could be easily changed is definitely the color style, because obviously that shows very much where the inspiration is coming from, but that alone may not be enough to, well, no longer annoy Warner Bros. At this point, because the skin has already caught their attention, otherwise it would have gone under the radar maybe. It is worth noting that Hi-Rez has gotten away with these kind of skins quite often. To name some examples, we have a monster trainer Erlang Shen, who very closely resembles a certain monster trainer from the Pokemon franchise. We have a Kukulkan skin that very much looks like Rayquaza, also from Pokemon, and there were no issues with those skins, and there are plenty more of those kinds. We also have very blatant references, like Renegade Awilish being very much inspired by anything around Knight Rider and Kid. So it is safe to say that Hi-Rez doesn't necessarily get in trouble when they make those kinds of skins, but it can happen. It's always a risk they're taking, and obviously Warner Bros. Seems to be the one company that really isn't too happy about it. On that note, as the question came up, Faced Crushcracker Bracken is not part of those skins. While it has been ages since he has been teased and he is still not released, it has other reasons. It's tied to Face It, and Face It is not in the state that they would like to be regarding Smite in order to get their name out there more. So it's kind of been delayed and put on hold, and Hi-Rez probably doesn't have the rights to just release it without the Face It branding. With that said, I will disappear for real for a week this time. I wish you guys the best of fortune with RTO and Casuals and Freya and Ranked, because I am absolutely happy not to have to experience that this week. And I will see you for the next one in a week, but there will be videos on my channel. As announced in my last video, other people will be uploading instead of me, and they will bring you some really cool content that you should definitely check out. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this was informative and interesting. If you're not subscribed yet, feel free to click the sub button and maybe the bell, it really helps me out. DukeSloth, out.